Welcome to Applied Linguistics. You may be wondering why you have to take such an intense science class as part of your training as an ESOL teacher. Well, it's important for us teachers to understand what is going on in a person's mind when he or she is learning or acquiring a second language. It is the scientific field of linguistics that provides a window, not the field of education. I have a Master's of Education in TESOL. In the program I attended at the University of Pittsburgh in Pennsylvania, half of my courses were taken in the Department of Linguistics and the other half in the School of Education. In addition to a thesis project that bridged both fields, I had to take two different sets of comprehensive exams, two oral and two written, one set from each field. So in the field of teaching English to speakers of other languages, the science of linguistics is as important as the art of teaching. The term linguist is used to describe someone who either studies a field in linguistics or uses linguistic methodologies to study groups of languages or particular languages. Here are photographs of some of the linguists that you will learn about in this class. Some linguists are concerned with finding and describing what all languages have in common, like Noam Chomsky, and how languages are unique from each other, like B.F. Skinner's followers. Linguists use information not only from language, but also from many other fields. If you have taken cultural dimensions of ESOL already, then you hopefully remember that you were exposed to sociology and anthropology. You learned about Deborah Tannen, a sociologist, and her ideas about body language. And you learned about Edward T. Hall, an anthropologist, and his ideas about body language and culture shock. These are just two examples, and there are many more from other fields: psychology, speech-language pathology, informatics, computer science, philosophy, biology, human anatomy, neuroscience, and acoustics. Linguistics encompasses a number of subfields. The first and most important division is between grammar, the study of language structure, and semantics, the study of meaning. Grammar covers morphology, syntax, and phonology. Phonetics is a related branch. Semantics involves sociolinguistics, pragmatics, and discourse analysis. In this applied linguistics course, we will complete projects that require a good understanding of all 7 of these subfields. Some of the other subdisciplines of linguistics that may interest you, but that we will not have time to explore, include evolutionary linguistics, historical linguistics, neurolinguistics, biolinguistics, and clinical linguistics. Examples of careers that require knowledge of linguistics are semiotics and literary theory. Linguistics is the study of natural language. This scientific field is subdivided into several subfields, and this class will focus on 3 of them: applied linguistics, language acquisition, and psycholinguistics. Teachers interested in the field of applied linguistics want to know about how language-related issues are applied in everyday life. They especially want to know about language policies that affect education. Researchers and teachers who are interested in the field of language acquisition enjoy arguing about and studying how language learners acquire and/or learn their second languages. They want to know how children acquire their first language and how children and adults acquire and learn their second and subsequent languages. Researchers and teachers who are interested in psycholinguistics want to know about the cognitive processes of language use. Applied linguists focus on making sense of and creating solutions for real-world linguistic problems, not simply applying existing technical knowledge from linguistics. In applied linguistics, we often see the link between linguistic research and government. For example, when people hear the term applied linguistics, they automatically think of how the discoveries and findings of linguistic research are used to define, in language teaching, how language teachers should teach students a language. In the state of Florida, we can see the link between ESL education and the state government in documents such as the Florida Consent Decree and the Sunshine State Standards English Language Proficiency Standards. Another way that governments use linguistic analysis is to verify the claimed nationality of people seeking asylum who do not hold the necessary documentation to prove their claim. This often takes the form of an interview by personnel in an immigration department. Linguistic experts analyze the speech used by the immigrant in this interview to determine the real native language and real nationality of the immigrant. The reported findings of the linguistic analysis can play a critical role in the government's decision on the refugee status of an asylum seeker. In this class, you will complete a few assignments that focus on this link between the government and teaching English as a second language. Linguistics concerns itself with describing and explaining the nature of human language. Relevant to this are the questions of what is universal to language, how language can vary, and how human beings come to know languages. What are the factors that help you learn a language, and what are the factors that hinder you? What makes some people better at learning languages than others? You will spend a great deal of time in this class studying various first language acquisition theories and second language acquisition theories and completing several assignments related to that study. The three primary processes investigated in psycholinguistics are language comprehension, language production, and language acquisition. So you can already see why we will be studying it after we learn about language acquisition. Psycholinguistics is the study of the psychological factors that enable humans to acquire, use, comprehend, and produce language. It treats the language user as an individual rather than a representative of a society, but an individual whose linguistics performance is determined by the strengths and limitations of the mental apparatus which we all share. Its agenda is to trace similar patterns of linguistic behavior across large groups of individual speakers of a particular language or of all languages. We will get to know one individual English language learner very well to discover the processes that make it possible for him or her to understand and generate the English language. Factors we will consider are the ELL's learning strategies, personality, emotions, motivation, and use of learning styles, particularly traditional learning styles, multiple intelligences, field independence, and field dependence. Linguistics is an exciting field because it focuses on human beings. There is something for everyone in linguistics. Some people like the scientific, clinical aspects of the language, and others are drawn to the social aspects of it. Whatever your personal preference is, I hope you enjoy this class and learn something new.